This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. I've been talking a lot about Donald Trump and his legal problems. Been talking a lot about Donald Trump and the myriad lawsuits that are facing him, whether they be civil or criminal, in the case of the Manhattan Cyrus Vance case. And he's got some legal bills. Now, a lot of these suits don't have to do with when he was president of the United States. They have to do with his actions prior to becoming president. Fraud, in fact. A scheme where he would value properties very low in order to set a tax rate. And then when he goes to a bank to borrow against that property, inflates the property value by hundreds of percent, thousands of percent, like insane amounts that he was claiming some skyscraper he owned was worth like $15 million or something. So, I mean, that might not be the exact number, but it's akin to that. Just that ridiculous, which is fraud. It's either tax fraud or bank fraud or possibly both. He's being sued. And now we're learning Republican Party. The Republican Party itself, the mechanism, the organization of the Republican National Committee is now committed to pay $1.6 million using donor dollars to pay for Donald Trump's legal bills. Not to defend his actions while he was the Republican president of the United States, but to defend his actions while he was a private citizen. Because that's just how disgusting and debased they are. I'm going to read from this New York Times article. Brace yourself. You might not learn anything new, but it's certainly going to highlight just what a bullshit organization the Republican Party is. From the New York Times, Republican National Committee is said to agree to pay up to $1.6 million of Trump's personal legal bills. Under the unusual arrangement, the Republican Party is paying to defend the former president as he faces investigations into his private business practices. Because Donald Trump, the dum-dum Svengali, he has such a hypnotic trance over the Republican Party that, seriously, if you can be hypnotized by this dumb shit, how stupid are you? I mean, it's the question of the ages, is it not? If you swallow hook, line, and sinker every wild conspiracy theory and 45th President of the United States of America statement, then you're just a dumb shit. You might be hopeless. There might not be hope for you if you're that person. If you're watching me right now and you're hate watching and you just love you some Donald Trump, check yourself. Or better yet, go check out a book from the library. Get on the reading train. It'll do your brain good. The first payments for $121,670 were made in October to the firm of Mr. Trump's lawyer, Ronald P. Fischetti, and were publicly reported last month to the Federal Election Commission. The decision by the Republican Party, now these next two paragraphs are just a chef's kiss of dipshittery. Listen to this. The decision by the Republican Party to cover up to $1.6 million in legal fees was first reported on Thursday by the Washington Post and was confirmed by the person familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss private negotiations. This is great. Emma Vaughn, an RNC spokeswoman, said in a statement that the party's executive committee had approved paying for certain legal expenses related to Mr. Trump. Now, this is the paragraph, sorry. As a leader of our party, defending President Trump and his record of achievement is critical to the GOP, she said. It is entirely appropriate for the Republican National Committee to continue assisting and fighting back against the Democrats' never-ending witch hunt and attacks on him. Notice, she's not saying he's innocent. They're just saying, look, it looks bad for us. We need to defend his accomplishments. That's not what the legal fund is for. No one's bringing him to court for his accomplishments, dum-dum. This is it. He's got such a stranglehold, a hypnotic trance that they're in. that they're gonna give millions of dollars in donor dollars. It's not like they have a business. They're getting this money from donors, and they're pissing it away on his legal defense, his fraud defense, that they're not defending him against. They just know it's bad for them, and that they got this dipshit as the leader of their party. Mr. Fischetti is representing Mr. Trump as prosecutors in Manhattan weighed the possibility of charging him with fraud, which isn't a civil case. At issue is whether he inflated the value of his assets to defraud lenders, according to people familiar with the investigation. The office of the Manhattan District Attorney, Cyrus Vance, has questioned one of Trump's accountants before a grand jury in recent weeks. And in a parallel civil investigation, the New York State Attorney General Letitia James, whose office is also involved in the criminal inquiry, is seeking to question Mr. Trump under oath. The former president has accused both investigations of being politically motivated, and many Republican leaders have echoed his arguments. Who gives a flying shit ass about what Republicans echo? We know what they believe. They'll say whatever Donald Trump tells them to say. They are but marionettes, bootlicking Pinocchio dolls. Darren Shaw, a political scientist at the University of Texas, Austin, and a former strategist for George W. Bush's 2000 and 2004 presidential campaigns, said the payments pointed to Mr. Trump's total command of the party apparatus. Quote, organizationally, the Republican Party is still a wholly owned subsidiary of Donald Trump for president, Professor Shaw said. Until the next heir to the throne is apparent, he's still the king. That no truer statement has ever been true related to Donald Trump's hold on the Republican Party. That he is the emperor with no clothes. He is the king, and that's the way they want it. Adana Beale, a spokesman for the Democratic National Committee, said that, quote, if we were the RNC's donors, we would certainly be asking questions. That's because you're a Democrat and you have a head on your shoulders. Adana Beale, that is not the case with most Republicans. That is not the case. They do not question. They swallow whatever lie and conspiracy theories that is fed to them, and then they regurgitate it to the masses, whether that be on Twitter or whether that be on the floor of Congress giving a speech like Marjorie Taylor Greene or dumb Lauren Boebert. Sometimes it's just too comical. Come on. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail. Laughing all the way to the bank. 714-576-4054. You can email me daily at dollemore.com. Seriously. Thank God it's Friday. Seriously. Unbelievable. Follow me on social media. That would be a good time. My voice, man. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Just search at Dollemore. You will find an account. And if I bring you value, whether that be a smile or some information you can take with you into your week, or in this case, into your weekend, please consider supporting my work here on the platform for as little as $1.99 a month. You can click the join button below this video. Become a channel member, helping produce what I do here, helping bolster the reach of this channel. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Until the end of the year, if you become a channel, if you become a Patreon supporter, a patron, we're sending a little fridge magnet with one specific actual review of the podcast, which is I think very funny, but I'm a dumb guy, so what do I know? Anyway, we'd love to see you become a patron on Patreon. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. Be genuine. Take care of one another.